Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's Heather Burkart with Her Wellbeing, Ayurveda, and Yoga. And today I'm filming from the Heart Revival Center in St. Francis, Wisconsin. Thanks for joining me today. I will be leading you through a new moon yoga flow for Cancer. So, the new moon in Cancer really is all about nurturing, especially as deep emotions rise to the surface. And this is no mistake. This is a good time for us to reflect upon those emotions, our feelings, to connect, and also to help them move through us so that we can move on to the next stage, whatever that looks like. So, Cancer is ruled by the moon. It is a water sign, and it is also associated with the heart chakra. So we'll be working more with opening and letting energy flow through through the heart chakra, and also the ajna or third eye chakra, and aiming to connect these two powerful energy centers to connect with intuition and also or inner knowing in the body, and also the higher mind that sees that's able to connect between the intellect and the heart or intuition, the inner knowing of the body. So stick around and take a moment to grab some props. We are going to start and end with a restorative position or posture in child's pose, supported child's pose. So I'll show you what I have built here. I have a blanket here for a little softness underneath me, and I have two bolsters that are stacked kind of like in a cross or T formation. Now we're going to come into a wide-legged pose here with knees straddling this bolster that's in front, and then leaning forward and walking yourself forward onto these props. I also have a folded blanket here, so I can use that under my head. So take a few moments to get settled. You can use cushions from your couch, you can use pillows, and stack yourself up just right so that you have a little support underneath you as you settle into child's pose, balasana. And take a few breaths in and out here, settling in. Relax the shoulders and start to focus on your breathing, feeling the ebb and the flow of the breath as it naturally flows in and out. Feel the, the peaks and the valleys of the breath and what that feels like in your body. Allow the body to breathe as it wants to. Allow the body to be breathed. Take another breath in and out. And then we'll focus on a particular yogic breathing technique called Dirgha Pranayama, or three-part breathing. On your next inhale, expand into the belly space as you inhale. Expand up into the ribs and maybe all the way up into the chest. Those are the three parts that we visit on the inhale, and then exhale, let go, and soften the whole body as we prepare to begin again. Inhale into the belly, ribs. Feel the ribs flare open, especially those lower ribs. Draw the breath all the way up into the chest and the heart area. The breath circulate around that energy center and then let it release down on the exhale. A few more breaths like that, working with Dirgha Pranayama, three-part breathing, or you can just focus on taking soothing breaths in and out. Good. One more breath in and out. And then we'll very slowly begin to press ourselves up into a kneeling position. I'm going to leave my props here as I'll want to use them again later. Coming onto the knees, again, it might feel good to have a little padding here. On your next inhale, come up onto the knees. Let's reach right arm first upwards. You can tuck your toes behind you, reaching up, leaning back, and then look back and grab hold of the left heel. And then inhale, and we'll switch arms, okay? So swinging the left arm upwards and reaching back towards the right foot. You can tuck the toes, grab onto the heel, or maybe a block that's set here. And then slowly come back down. That's our first flow. Inhale to press the hips forward, lift the heart. And if you're using a block, you can place that right outside the foot, like so, and then come on down, switch the block to the other side. Inhale to lengthen, extend the front body, maybe looking up. Exhale, release down. We'll do that once more to each side. Big breath in, reaching, keep the shoulders relaxed. Exhale, come on down, other side. Half camel pose, Ustrasana. Good. Stretching open the front body, creating more internal space and coming back down. Good. Now, if you want, you can stretch out in downward facing dog. Tuck the toes behind you, lift the knees and the hips high. Finding stability and strength here first in downward facing dog. Pressing both hands, both heels down towards the ground. Let the head hang, maybe shaking out the head a little bit. And maybe you'd also like to paddle the feet. One heel presses down, the other knee bends. Breathe into the back of that leg where you feel the stretch. And then paddle the other foot down. That heel presses downward, the other knee bends. And you might like to do that once or twice more and really breathe into the stretch in the back of the leg. Yeah, if you want, you can let the hips sway a little bit. We'll very slowly come forward and bring the knees down to the ground. Now stepping the right foot forward outside of the right hand. You might also like to use a block under your hands, and those are positioned right under the shoulders. Slowly make your way up to a kneeling position. You can start with hands on the hips. First, ground or root the whole lower body down by pressing the feet down and the supporting knee down, the back foot down, toes tucked or otherwise. Just find your strong foundation here first. Take a breath in, roll the shoulders up and back, lift the heart away from the belly. Draw the belly in as you drop the tail. And then on your next exhalation, start to lean the hips forward a little bit or more. Good. Breathe. Here, if you want, you can take the hands behind the head, open the elbows away from the head, and breathe. You're also welcome to take goddess arms here, whatever feels good. A gentle opening in the chest. Keep the shoulders relaxed, the head and the neck tension free. And then we'll slide the hips back as we hinge forward. And maybe we grab onto the props in front of us. My back toes are tucked, but you can certainly keep them untucked. Good, coming into a hamstring stretch here. So that's our next flow. As we come forward on an in-breath, roll the shoulders back, Sink the hips down and lift the heart. You can keep hands down on the blocks. You can bring hands upwards, behind the head, elbows wide, or goddess arms, or all of the above. This new moon flow is about intuitive, creative flows. So listen to your own body and let creativity flow. Be open to expressing yourself in different ways. Maybe this time taking the hands behind the back, drawing shoulder blades together, arms together behind the back. Good. One more time. Stretching forward. Good. And then we'll switch legs here, coming back to child's pose. Stretch it out for a breath or two. And then we'll take the left foot forward right outside the left hand or block. You can take the blocks a little higher here. And just as we did on the other side, coming upright, hands on the hips. Roll the shoulders back. Press that back foot down, both supporting legs down. And then when you're ready on your next exhale, lean the hips forward a little bit or more. Good. You can tuck the back toes to really strengthen that supporting knee. And again, find some expression with your arms. Thinking of your habitual patterns, maybe something different. Maybe you're called to do something a little different today. Exhale to find forward fold. In the stretch, maybe rounding the back a little or a lot, making your way forward once again. Last time, as we hold and breathe, lifting the chest away from the belly, drawing the belly in, the tail down. Good. Breathe. Maybe looking up, maybe looking down, maybe looking side to side. That might challenge your balance a little bit. And then we'll step it back to downward facing dog to stretch out once again, placing my props in front of me, hands down, fingers spread wide on the mat. Tuck the toes, lift the knees and the hips high, maybe stepping back to widen your stance, maybe stepping forward. What stance feels most comfortable for you as we stretch it out? Maybe paddling the feet. And then we'll take the right foot forward once again. Again, you can bring in a block, this time just under the left hand as we come into a twist here. Reaching for the sky with the right arm. Good. Breathe. You can take some arm circles here. If you like, you can take the back knee down. And then bringing this hand to the front knee, pressing the knee away for a slightly deeper twist here. Keep lifting the heart away from the belly. Draw the tail down and breathe. Good. Relax the shoulders. Relax the head and neck. Maybe you want to look towards the back of your space. Maybe not. Good. Take that arm in a circle one more time. Good. Come back to child's pose. Take a moment to rest. Gather up some earth energy here. And then switch sides. The left foot steps forward. Block under the right hand. Tuck the back toes. Straighten out the back leg. And we'll go for a twist on the other side. Reach the arm upwards. You can stay here if stability and strength is what you're working on, or if you're working on mobility with the shoulder, find some arm circles and really work with a full expression of that shoulder joint. Maybe reversing the circle. Again, maybe do something a little different on the side. Then taking that back knee down and here, let me turn around so you can see what I'm doing. Take the back knee down, turn towards the left knee, push it away. As you come into this twist, you can sink into that hip a little bit if that feels okay. This block can come up a little higher. Let me scoot back so you can see what I'm doing here. Good. And breathe. This should be right under the shoulder. Good. Breathe, relax the head and the neck, release the shoulders down to the back body, maybe looking towards the back of your mat, maybe not. Do what's right for you. Listen to your body. And then we're going to stretch it back into child's pose once again. Take your time. If you keep the blocks, you can place them under the hands, about shoulder width apart for a gentle shoulder stretch here, releasing the forehead down towards the ground. Take a full Dirgha breath here, belly, ribs, and chest. And try to reverse the order on the exhale, if that's possible. One more Dirgha breath in and out here. And let it go with a sigh. Make your way up. We'll prepare for revolved child's pose. And this is where I do like to use a little blanket here. For the shoulder and the head coming down to the ground. The blanket for the shoulder for a little bit more padding there. So you'll take tabletop pose first. Let me see if I can move that out of the way. Okay. Tabletop pose first. We'll start with the left arm reaching high to the sky. Take a breath in, exhale, scoop that arm underneath you, flip the palm up. Take this left shoulder all the way down to your blanket. Okay, hips stay balanced over the knees. The right arm reaches high. Take a breath in here. Exhale, reaching towards the front of your space. And now balancing through the shoulder girdle. Take a breath in as you exhale, drop that right shoulder away from the ear. Lots of space between the shoulder and the ear here. And breathe. Breathe all the way up into the heart space, maybe circulating that breath around, through, and even behind the heart. Big breaths in and out. If you want to take a balancing pose here, you can straighten out the right leg, putting a little bit more pressure on the left shoulder as long as that feels okay. Good. And then slowly bring that knee down. If the leg is straight, take your time on your next inhale, unravel and reach for the sky. Exhale to release down. We'll do the other side. You can take the knees wide a little bit if you feel like your hips need a little bit more space. Reach the right arm high to the sky. Inhale here, exhale, sweep the arm underneath you, flip the palm up. The shoulder can come down on the blanket. Head down and breathe here. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Press the whole shoulder girdle down. Exhale and reach the arm towards the front of your space. I'm also reaching back with both of my hips to lengthen and find as much space as I can inside my torso. And breathe. If you want to do balancing on this side, tuck the left toes, straighten out the back leg. We make a beautiful triangle shape here in revolved child's pose. Good. Try that full breath all the way up into the belly, the ribs, the heart, circling around and behind the heart. More oxygen, prana, energy, and then let it go. Flush the breath out. Taking any stagnant energy along with that exhale, letting it go. Bringing the hand down, front of the face, bring the knee down, unwind yourself your next breath in. Reach up and exhale to come back down to a kneeling pose. Take a moment to observe here. Just observe the energy in the heart center, in the shoulders. The shoulders are very much connected in the chest area because if our shoulders get really tight, we have a lot of constriction that impedes flow, right? Both upwards and downwards in the subtle body. So, working to release that tension and just boosting circulation in general with the shoulders can be really helpful. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're going to take it down to the floor now. I like to keep one blanket on the ground for hips as we turn the body down. Coming down onto your mat, elbows first, and then walk the knees away, settling the hips down, coming into crocodile pose first. So we'll take the elbows wide. I like to use a little blanket here for softness. Softness is introducing more earth energy, so that's always a good thing, especially when we have watery new moons with lots of maybe turbulent emotions, giving us a soft place to land and breathe and be with our feelings. Some people might like crocodile pose, especially because you can make a pillow with your hands, put the forehead down, and rest the eyes. Just shutting down some of this sensory information that we are bombarded with so often. Just shutting the eyes, being in a closed space with your own body, your own mind, your own feelings. On your next inhale, start to lift the head, the chest, and sweep the arms behind the back as you reach back. Hold here as you breathe. You can also bend one knee and then the other, reaching back towards the feet. You can use a strap here. I do have a strap here to demonstrate. This one is already tied up. So using a strap here, you can also use a scarf to grab a hold of the feet, kind of lasso the feet as you press back into the strap. Breathe here, pressing the feet into the strap, the legs into the strap. Good, holding on. My palms are facing inward. And if you're going to try reaching for your feet, grab one foot and then the other. Good. You can keep the body rounded if that feels better, bringing the heels down towards you. That helps to stretch the quadricep muscles, And just resting here if that feels good. If you want to be a little bit more active in this moment, you can press your feet into your hands, lift the chest away from the ground, roll the shoulders back away from the ears. Breathe. See what it's like to breathe into the belly now. More gentle breaths here. And you can feel possibly feeling your ribs also responding to the breath. And then when you're ready to come down, release the feet. I'm going to release the strap as well. And come into crocodile pose. You can take the feet up in the air, knees wide, and wag your feet from side to side to release the low back. Good. And then when you're done with that, relax here for a few moments. Just allow the body to soften, give into the force of gravity, feeling the support of the earth, feeling this downward flow of energy that connects us with the ground, with the earth. You can practice breathing here as well, envisioning that you're drawing energy up from the earth for more grounding energy, cycling it through your body, and then exhale and let go of something and give it back to the earth. Not necessarily knowing exactly what it is, but just giving something away. The earth is the great regenerator, recycler. So Mother Earth will know what to do with this energy that is no longer useful or needed in you. And take a few breaths like that. Cycling breaths in between you and you can think of Mother Earth, Mother Nature. And then when you're ready to come out of relaxation, maybe stretch it out in child's pose one more time. When you're ready to move on to seated meditation, join me in an upright shape. And maybe that means moving to your couch, sitting against the wall. Whatever suits you today. Know that there's no right or wrong. It does matter that your body is comfortable so that you can focus on your breathing. So I like a folded blanket and a block underneath my seat. And my yoga mat is going to serve as my cushion here. Knees grounded, hips lifted if you're using props. Hang on to the knees. You can use the meditation mudra here, which is joining the first finger, one of many, I should say, but joining the first finger and the thumb and placing that down on the knees as you hold here. Hold on. Sit back into the back body. Lift the belly up and away from the pelvis, the ribs up and away, floating over the pelvis, the shoulders floating over the rib cage. Remember not to dump into the ribs here. Draw the floating ribs in, knit them together underneath the heart. Roll the shoulders back, lift the heart, shoulders over the ribs, and the ears over the shoulders. So these are like our guidelines. Our arms act as our guidelines as we create more internal length and space. And it's within this space that we're going to do some pranayama or breathing, yogic breathing here. So we'll start with a couple rounds of Dirgha pranayama, breathing into the belly, ribs, and chest, and just noticing how that feels different, being in an upright position. Exhale, reverse the flow. Once more like that. And try to maintain this posture as we move into Nadi, Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breathing and also a purification or a purifying breath. So, very simple mudra. I'm using this simple mudra to teach you this technique. I'm going to use my thumb on the right nostril and breathe into the left nostril. You can do that with me now. Keep this posture, keep the shoulders relaxed. Switch nostrils at the top. I'll use my pointer finger on the left nostril. Exhale right. As the belly draws in, as you exhale, see if you can get a little bit longer. Inhale through that same nostril, the right nostril. Switch nostrils at the top of that inhale, exhale left. Inhale left again. Switch at the top, exhale right. Let the breath flow out naturally. Inhale right. Gentle hold at the top. Maintain your posture. Exhale left. Inhale left. If you're a little congested, like I am right now, it might be big, noisy breaths. That's okay. Exhale through right. Inhale right once more. Gentle hold at the top of the inhale. Exhale left. Now, if I were going to use a particular mudra, you would use you would use the first finger. There's lots of different mudras that people use. Something that's very simple is while you're using the thumb on the right, you can use the middle finger on the left and draw the pointer finger to the third eye, which stimulates the third eye, but also acts as a resting point for your hand. Okay, I'm not doing that today, but that is a different way that you can practice. There's lots of different mudras and it's taught in lots of different ways, and they're all right. Okay, and then from here, we'll end with 3 rounds of Bhramari Pranayama. This is a very soothing, the way that we're going to practice this today for the new moon in Cancer is a very soothing, nurturing approach. So we'll take a breath in, and on the exhale, we'll hum as long as it's possible. Very soothing, soft hum. Take a breath in when you're ready. Gentle hold at the top. Let that exhale dissipate slowly. We'll do that twice more like that. If you want a little bit more stimulation up into the third eye and the upper chakras, you can place the tip of your tongue towards the soft palate of the hard palate of the mouth, which is towards the front of the teeth. And it'll change the sound a little bit too. See if you like that. And if you don't, it's okay. You don't have to do that. Again, taking another breath in, touching the tongue to the roof of your mouth. That's a little bit more stimulating to the mind, a little bit more focused, direct energy. The soft tongue resting in your mouth is more of a general energy. So it's whatever you need to meet the moment of this new moon in Cancer. Remember, this is a nurturing, introspective time to get in touch with your own intuition, with your own deep feelings, and to experience them and let them flow through you again so that you can take that next step and move on to whatever is next for you. Thanks so much for joining me today. This is Heather Burkart with Her Wellbeing, Ayurveda, and Yoga, broadcasting from the Heart Revival Center in St. Francis, Wisconsin, where I teach on a weekly basis. So feel free to go to my website to get more information, herwellbeing.com, or you can go to the Heart Revival's website, theheartrevival.com.